Lords and ladies,
readers of all ages,
welcome to the Tulsa City County Library's
virtual Renaissance Fair for the 2020 Summer Reading Program.
Huzzah!
Yay!
I am Sir Thomas Blackador, the Baron of Somerset.
And I am Dame Liana Catherine Percy.
And we've been asked to come here and answer some of your questions and tell us a little bit more about who we are. Where should we start, Liana?
Why don't we tell them about the heroic knights of old?
What a good idea. You have those sometimes.
I have those sometimes. I do.
Well, the heroic knights of old likes to travel the country and perform at Renaissance festivals and community events to entertain and hopefully educate and inspire people just like you. A typical year for us, is spent much like the knights of old, where they would travel from city to city to entertain and keep themselves sharp for battle at tournaments and competitions across the land. Much like that, we travel from fair to fair, roll into town, set up our camp, get our horses ready and ourselves ready to perform the festival, pack everything down, and get out of town. One of the things we are often asked is, where do we get the ideas for our shows? Who wins? Who loses? Where do we come up with the storylines?
How often do they change?
Well, we pride ourselves in making sure that every day we have a new final joust with a new story, because we love to keep our friends and family coming back time and again to see what the heck we're going to do next.
We might also have a little bit of ADHD and can't stick to one thing.
That too. Because of the format of our show, we try and have a hero and a villain, so that way people get to see a very clear good versus evil storyline. It's very clear and easy to follow. And we'll take turns as to who's the good guy and the bad guy, because quite frankly, being good all the time is really boring.
And being bad all the time can get tiresome. I swear it happens. It's okay. It's gonna be all right.
So during the week, we'll try and come up with some new ideas, something we've never done before, and sometimes we take inspiration from the theme of that weekend. For Mother's Day, it's been a long-running gag that we take Dame Eden's son, Connor, and I, as the villain, kill Connor in a lot of interesting and crazy ways. And in fact, one time I actually came out with his head in a bag. It was quite exciting.
Poor Connor. One of the other questions we're often asked, and literally every time without fail, how do you train your horses? What do you do with them to get them prepared? What do you look for when you go hunting for these horses? Because as we all know, they do not last forever.
And much like people, each horse is different. So there are some horses that love what we do, and we've experienced horses that have no interest in doing what we do whatsoever.
For instance, if you were at the Oklahoma Renaissance Festival last year, you met Camelot. We tried everything we could to get Camelot to joust, and he just told us left, right, and sideways, no, I will not do this. I'm not okay with it. So we were unfortunately forced to find Camelot a new home. He is much happier there, though.
He's a trail horse now. All he has to do is walk through the forest.
Occasionally he might get up to a trap. He's very pleased with that.
He's very pleased with that. So we do work very hard trying to find a horse that not only will do the job, but enjoys the job, because you want to enjoy what you're doing with your partner.
And let's face it, if you are a 1,000-pound animal and you do not want to do something, you're not going to do it.
So what we'll do is when we go out and start looking for a horse, is that we'll take along elements of what we do. We'll take along some armor, maybe a sword, a lance.
Flags. Horses hate flags. That's how you can definitely tell right off the bat if something's going to work out, because if you don't know this, horses think flags will eat them.
I've seen it happen.
Legit. In puddles.
So we'll go out there and we'll introduce some of these elements and we'll see how they react. Now, I don't expect the first time a horse sees a shield and I try to carry one, them to be fine with it, although some are.
And those we pay extra special attention to.
But we try and at least see, okay, if we present the shield and you shy away at first, then we back off and we bring it back. Do you shy a little less, back off, and then you let me pick it up?
So what Sir Thomas is trying to say is we are looking for trainability. They don't have to be cool with everything off the bat, but if they can be worked around to it, they show a lot of potential. Now, training us and how a normal festival run would go is we obviously have to have some days off, not just for us. Those horses need to rest. They can't work 7 days a week. It's not fair to them. So we usually take off Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll rehearse both the horses and us and do various projects throughout and within.
Maintaining equipment, repainting lances,
Repainting field props,
building special props for special shows, like a stake burning.
or fixing stalls, or, hitching posts that some horses pulled out of the ground.
But our training, we will always try and do 2 rides a day to both train horses and keep them used to what we're doing, but also conditioning. Just like you can't sit on the couch playing video games for 2 months and then jump up and start running around and expect people.
So all those of you coming out of quarantine, you know exactly what we're talking about.
So we're trying to condition the horses and ourselves in the riding. So twice a day we'll ride. And then when they get a chance to break, we will work on fights and try and clean up our fights, write new fights.
Keep things exciting and interesting. Sometimes we add fire.
Fire.
Definitely cannot just throw fire into a fight. Don't let anybody tell you different.
Another thing that people ask about is our fighting style. Do we use a lot of historically accurate fighting moves and weapons? Well, the short answer is kinda. We do use historic weapons. Obviously, we try and use the swords and the pole arms, the halberds and the ball and chains that they
Spears.
used back then. But we do try and modify them a little bit to do what we do. Another thing that we have to, as far as historic, let me grab a sword.
I get one too.
Swords. Again, storytelling. Historically accurate moves. What are the historically accurate moves tend to do? They are intended to kill, maim your opponent. You're trying to make sure that you kill someone and don't get killed. Therefore, if I'm attacking, I'm making sure that I have very quick moves that I tend to block and attack. Quick, efficient, not telegraphing what I'm doing. But if I am trying to perform for an audience with a partner who I really don't want to kill,
I like that.
it's important. As an audience member, you need to be able to follow the story. Everything we're doing in the show is to tell the story. So if I am going to attack Liana, I am not going to do it fast, quick. I am going to do it telegraphing exactly what I'm doing. Hey,
Nor are you
Liana,
going to-
I am going to attack your shoulder.
Okay, I think I'll block that.
Then I'm going to attack your other shoulder.
Whoa, I think I'll block that too, and I'll step back so that way you can't hit me.
Then I'm going to attack your leg.
Are you? Oh no, not my leg.
Now you're going to sweep it up and over.
Wah! Haha, no more attacking me. I win.
Hopefully, you're able to follow that story. I was telling you, but now if I just show you the same moves without narrating it, you should still be able to follow the action. The story is still told through the actions. My partner also knows, hey, here comes a shoulder block, and if they
I
have
know
forgotten
exactly where that's
the
gonna go.
choreography, they say,
can-
oh, it's coming there.
So that is
Wait.
stage combat.
Where'd the weapons go?
Magic.
Magic.
Fairies. They're helpful.
Well, our time together is coming to a close here, and I guess what we'd like to leave you with is a little bit of advice on if you want to be a knight or a dame, which is a female knight, how do you go about it? As far as what we do, if something like this interests you, look for your local Renaissance Festival. There's a fantastic Renaissance Festival at the Castle of Muskogee just down the road from Tulsa. When you get old enough, contact them and ask to be part of the cast. Start there. When you're part of their cast, they will give you training in some of the combat and how to act,
How to act is very important.
because we are actor combatants.
You can oftentimes, one of the things I've heard since I started in the joust world is you can teach an actor to ride. It is very hard to teach a rider to act. So learning that when you're young and still much more pliable than you are as an adult is a lot smarter than waiting to do it right when you want to jump into the joust world.
So get involved and then come talk to us down at the stables, and we'll be happy during the week to give you a little bit of an idea of what we do.
And if you really, really think you're gung-ho about this, look into somewhere that you can do riding lessons. That's the first step. You gotta know how to ride, otherwise what are you doing on the back of a horse? That's just not safe.
Well, and I guess finally, this being a summer reading program, we should talk about our favorite books.
Do we have to pick only one?
Make it two.
Make it. That's harder. You first.
Well, I'm gonna cheat because, Sir Thomas, I cheat.
He does.
I'm gonna say that one of my favorite books right now is the genre of books is urban fantasy. You might, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
For most kids.
But the idea being that magic exists in modern the world. It's not about 1,000 years ago, but right now. There are fairies and giants and everything else around us. We just as mortals don't necessarily want to see that, so we don't see that.
Or it scares us, so we can't see it.
But I like the idea of magic being all around us right here, right now.
I would definitely tag into that. But to go a different direction and put a new line of books in your way, I would definitely recommend anything by Tamra Pierce. If you ask me to pick one of her books, my brain will explode because I love them all. But anything she has written, I have read just about, and there has never been a bad book from her.
So Thomas says, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
Dame Liana is going to go off book and say Dragon Riders of Pern to go along with Tamra Pierce.
And once again, thank you for attending the virtual Renaissance Festival of the Tulsa County City Public Libraries
for their 2020 summer reading program.
Once again, I am Sir Thomas, the Baron of Somerset.
I am Dame Liana Catherine Percy.
And we are from the heroic Knights of Old. Thank you for taking some time to join us this afternoon.
And have a wonderful summer. Read lots of books and go many places.